Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Ellen DeGeneres.
Speaking of Ellen, so, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I had heard, I think Adam Carolla talked about this, and...
I think they're kind of just like, they're passing the buck now, right?
What?
Okay, so like everybody, for years the rumor has been that Ellen is a mean old bitch.
Yes,
That's what this is nothing new.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
has
yeah,
been a
yeah.
rumor for years, and then I've always been like, and then I just don't care enough to even because that's
Same rumor with Rosie O'Donnell, too.
correct. But I don't get it from Rosie. When I look at them, like if I had to spend a day at Disney World with one of them, I'd pick Rosie all day
Ooh,
long.
I don't know.
Oh,
She's
that-
got a temper.
I've heard that
Hey,
Rosie
but-
O'Donnell, though.
But I don't get the vibe that she's secretly.
That's not what Trump said.
I don't, well, he said she was a pig.
Remember when
Yeah.
they,
Oh, man.
remember they had
That's
the fight?
That's our president. Okay, so but Ellen, yeah, the rumor is mean old bitch, and then I look at her, I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see it, and then now the new thing I'm hearing is that no, it's not Ellen. It's her team.
The showrunners.
It's everybody, like, you know, and
production
then
team.
she comes out and she says,
Yeah.
hey, the buck stops with me, and how did I let this happen? I wasn't aware of all these. Yeah, you were. You knew exactly what
Yep,
was happening.
but-
You don't get that big without being able to, that culture starts with you, is what I'm saying.
What were the allegations of bitchery? Because that's all it is, right? It's not like it was a hostile, or what are people claiming that her or her team did? That's what I'm interested in.
Well-
Like, is it just being a D-head or a a-hole boss?
there was a lot of that.
It's
Because
like,
that's not uncommon, right?
No, they were throwing around like workplace hostility, hostile work.
toxicity.
Yeah, that
And you
kind of
remember
deal.
the old DJ, like the resident DJ that, when she got famous from coming out and dancing to everything?
Yeah.
Like they just interviewed him and he straight up says like, yeah, there was like, what did he say? Toxic work environment.
Was he the British
including racism, intimidation, and sexual misconduct.
There you go.
And he worked there for years.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning all the way to like 2013.
Yeah.
Because I'm being devil's advocate, right?
I love
because
it.
normally
Yeah, please.
I'd be like,
And I don't know any
whatever,
of
if
this to
you're-
be true. I don't work there,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, just based on what I look at, I'd spend the day with Rosie O'Donnell at Disney World.
But because for me, if you're a bitch or a D-head, you got to come, and eventually people are gonna get
Yeah.
a backlash or whatever. I started thinking about this, and Samantha, tell me if you agree.
Mm-hmm.
If this was a guy, now barring any sexual allegations or anything like that, so none of that.
You're just saying strictly D-head.
Just strict D-head boss
Okay.
that just is an a-hole to everybody he works with because he wants things done a certain way, whatever D-head. But the business goes well, his business is good,
Yeah.
and the ratings are high or
I'll
whatever.
say, yeah.
Then this doesn't happen. Right? Does it have to do with because she's a woman? And that's why
I don't know,
she's
because-
getting the backlash more.
Oh, you're saying that this happens all the time in Hollywood with
does.
men, and
Yeah. No,
and
just being D-heads, not.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying sexual. I'm just saying, there are men, they keep it in their pants, but they're D-heads, and they gain the same amount of success as Ellen being a D-head, and no one calls them on the carpet for it. That's what you're saying.
Because
I don't know. People called David Letterman out about it, and this was before it even came out about the affair that he had. But then
Yeah.
he was a D-head, same thing.
True,
where,
but it didn't
where,
affect his career.
Don't make eye contact with. You're right. It did
It
for a little
didn't.
bit, but
Like-
then because he was so honest about it.
You were
But that's what I feel like Ellen needed to do here, and
she's hiding
she
it.
kind of did, but she kind of didn't. Like,
And-
if she had said, yeah, I've been a real bitch, I'd been like, all right, now
Now-
we got something. But
Right.
it's not that. We're
No.
getting it's the culture below me, and I took my eyes off the wheel, and look
No
at
accountability.
look at where we are now, and it's all because she's putting some on her, but she's putting the I got too busy and I neglected it deal
yeah.
versus the owning
am a
it. You
D-head,
gotta
yeah.
own it.
Yes.
Like when I've said things to you, I don't think I've said it to you, but like with you, and you're like, you're a D-head, it's just easier to go, yeah. Because everybody does it.
So-
you know what I mean? Like we all do it. You catch somebody off guard or what? No, you don't do it culturally the entire life. But.
Is this the problem too? Is because who she portrays her personality
That's
to be on television.
That is what it is.
Is not that because she's dancing,
because
happy-go-lucky.
house moms love her. They're like,
Yes.
oh, it's cute. Ellen DeGeneres dancing. Like, yeah.
So
It's always made me uncomfortable.
so that's
Me too, because it seems fake.
Yeah, especially
Yes, well, obviously.
when she dances over the
Yeah.
table. I'm like,
All
So-
right.
I can't watch that.
So the problem here
It's
is
making me.
you spent your
the
career
Trying to be this lovable, happy.
and because you probably knew that your actual personality wasn't going to resonate with your audience because no one wants to see a stone cold business bitch.
That's
up
funny
there.
because I do. I do.
Me
wanna
too.
see
I
that.
want to see real.
Like
but
that
yeah.
would be my
But-
favorite show on television. If the show was like mean old bitch Ellen and she's yelling at everybody, I'd be like, this talk show is lit.
The problem is Ellen, especially throughout her career, like like she's been on the air for 20 years, right? Like early 2000s.
Yeah.
So early 2000s back. I mean, it was a different time. And being a lesbian on TV, you had to almost go against the stereotype of you being, because I'm sure all the Midwest and all the people are like, oh, lesbian, she's
Right.
gonna be
Achieving-
a business D-head or
But
whatever.
achieving
or
what
more
she did at the time,
masculine.
you can take nothing away from the fact that it's been
Oh.
probably so
Amazing
bad
career.
so bad I couldn't even imagine the amount of hurdles
Yeah.
that she had to jump through as a lesbian to get to where she's.
Yes.
Like, I mean,
So to be a lesbian woman on TV in the early 2000s, I'm sure network executives are like, hey, you
put
got
this mask on, put this guard up,
You got to come
Dance
out
for us.
You got to come out dancing because
Yep.
middle America doesn't want to see
Yeah.
a lesbian
They're not gonna be
business
able to relate
D-head.
to you.
Yeah, they want to see a bubbly, happy-go-lucky mom cut. Hey,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
it's probably
girlfriends
sa-
allowed. No kissing.
Same thing with Rosie O'Donnell too. Is like, crush on Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I'll throw the koosh
Yeah.
balls. Throw the koosh
yeah.
balls.
So it's like
Can't believe
society.
you said crush on. That like gave me the skeeves too.
Because probably, if you ever watch Ellen stand up, she's a brilliant stand up, and that's more of her probably close to her personality, and she's not like that in her stand up. She's
well, like Bubba,
she's
and
a
our
funny
friend,
person.
Our friend Bubba and Jeff Howard, like they knew her because she's from Louisiana.
Yeah.
They got a chance to actually see her perform like early on before, and said phenomenal. Just said like probably the best stand up they've ever seen.
Her, I don't know what network it's on, but her latest stand up is really good. I don't know when it
She's
was done,
super
but
funny,
a couple
man.
years ago. But
that doesn't mean you're not a D head.
Right.
so
There's
but
a lot of funny people getting.
But there's
into
also a
trouble.
lot of fellow comedians way before she got into this talk show game that have said she was a D-head.
Yeah,
Just
well,
in general, that is
I
her
think,
personality.
Yeah, I think that's her personality. So then,
But is it possible to have the road that you walk be so difficult that maybe it shapes you into a D-head because
jaded as hell.
Yeah,
Tom Rhodes.
You've had well that one I don't. Well, yeah, I guess that's a good example because I don't fully understand the animosity there.
Right.
You
Just like, kind of like a Mark Maron. Just like a little bit bitter, a little
God.
bit angry.
Yeah.
a lot of these people are starting to make Maron look really nice. I feel like, right?
Well,
but here's
'Cause
why.
at least he owns it.
Here's why I
True.
feel bad for Ellen because.
don't feel bad. She's a millionaire.
Well, no. I don't really feel bad, but in this scenario, because I do think that she wanted to do this talk show, and back when she started this talk show, there was probably a lot of network executives telling her like, you got to put on this front because your personality is too rough and too harsh and too to the point. You got to. Kind of like Bob Saget when what Bob Saget did on America's Funniest Home Videos
And Full House.
and Full House
Yeah.
is not him.
Yeah, well, that's what
and
Christine's saying in the Twitch chat room. She says, but Ellen as a host is a character.
True.
Ellen as a businesswoman is allowed to be vastly different. I agree with all of
Yeah.
that.
So then
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't necessarily like it. When
I
I'm
wonder
like,
why now
why you gotta be
it's
a
an
D-head?
issue. Because like we were saying, we know like in the comedy community, people have been talking about this for years. So is it just because, and she's been on this talk show for years. Why now is it blowing up that
It's
people are like, hey, Ellen's a bad person to work for? Like, why now?
It just, I think we're in the attack world where everybody's looking for
We're also-
people to
Someone
attack.
to cancel?
We're
Yeah,
also
yeah.
we're not doing anything. We're all up in our own brains.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of time to sit around and think about who
Well-
you want to cancel or who you want to attack or who was a D-head
Well,
to you.
here's the thing: it's a lot easier to attack people because now it's virtual. Like before, if you had a vendetta against someone, like a former boss or whatever it is, you literally had to like maybe get a bunch of people and go stand on the street corner and protest. You know what I'm saying? Like what else? You got to write letters to the
and the funny thing is that actually meant less.
I know. Well, but it took more effort.
Oh,
now,
yeah, a lot more effort.
Now you could do it all on social media and get people together, and then contact these like bloggers, and then get them to write stories about it. It's like they figured out how to manipulate social media to manipulate the media. Then all of a sudden, it's a story. I mean, she's always been a D-head.
I'm not saying it justifies it. All I'm saying is I bet you her road was really, really probably she's seen tons of disgusting things that have been thrown her way for being who she is. And I'm not saying that this justifies her acting like a D-head, but I do say that if you trace that and you look at that map, you can probably understand it a little better, right?
But okay, and this also, so this is why I feel bad for her too, because like
I don't even know how you defend yourself from that.
All the networks, they're like, this. We want you to play this personality, this or whatever. And then, meanwhile, she was herself this whole time. And behind the scenes, everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And I think people don't like the fact that she's portrayed. Even her staffers and the people that know her probably...
They're like, she's not like that.
Yes. And then that's built this underlying resentment with all these people, because who knows how many people in the past 20 years...
We all know people like that, right? That aren't who they are.
Oh, yeah. And we see it. And
we're like, why don't people see
and society...
Tom's really the worst person I know. Like, you guys think he has no feelings. He screams at us every day. But on here, he's a fumbly bumbly funny guy.
I stay out of the screaming zone, because that's what he calls it, the scream zone.
Right.
And I told him not to call it that, but since I guess Halloween Horror Nights is canceled, it's okay now since they have real scream zones. But
no, we're waiting until I make the plant zone.
I'm going to get chastised after the show for coming out with the truth. I know.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's going to get
this
in the
might be my last day.
Go get in the box.
But honestly...
He's sleeping with the fishes.
It's just that. Like,
don't.
I think David Letterman fared better, because people are like, well... David Letterman, like, even though he's a comedian and stuff, like, I could see he's a D. You know what I'm saying? Like, people could, but
then why give him a pass? Because he's a man?
Yeah. The honest answer is it's easy for society to accept a D-head man than it is to accept a D-head woman, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
Is that a good answer? I think that's a good answer.
Now, but I
kind of think D-head women are hot.
No,
a little bit.
But
don't tell anybody. My wife's the exact opposite. She can't be a D-head.
Well, I think you're absolutely correct about society. They accept the men instead of a woman's a bitch. A man's just like he's
like
aggressive.
Trump, again, this isn't politics, but he's done some D-head things, and there are guys that I know that when he does stuff like that are like, yeah, and it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, but...
We don't do that for ladies.
But I think there is also the hypocrisy thing that we don't like, in which because there's plenty of business D-head women that like the I don't know her name, and she doesn't really come off as a D-head, but the chick on Shark Tank, what's her name?
The blonde? She's on QVC all the time.
I don't know. I don't watch
her
it.
Or like
I like those ladies.
Think of any.
They're hot. They're like confident.
Lori Greiner,
or the lady, the lady that's on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Wanda Sykes.
The lawyer's wife. That's always yelling at him.
Never watched that either.
Oh yeah, Jeff Green's. What's her name?
She's
hilarious.
Yeah, and her character is just like
straight talking,
just to yell at everybody.
To the point, D-head. Yeah,
and we accept that because
I find it attractive.
That's who she portrays.
Not with Ellen though, because I know she's a lesbian, so it doesn't work there.
I think people don't like that you're portraying one thing and then you're another thing, and then that's what society's attacking. I think that's what it comes down to. It's like they don't want...
Well, that, and I also started reading on, like, because I'm like, why did it start now? And it seems there was a slow transition from, like, 2018. A New York Times profile came out about her where she admitted, like, yeah, I'm not that person that you see on the show, and kind of admitted that she is more of a recluse and a D-head. But then you had the Kevin Hart Oscars interview when he came out with those, when people dug up his old tweets that were like homophobic, she like stuck up for him. So a lot of people didn't like that. And then when she was at that, the Cowboys-Packers game with George W. Bush, people didn't like that. So like little things kept eking out that people were like, what? Why
But I think here's what Tom's on to, though. Tom's on to something here, and I'll tell you why. It's not these events that make Ellen a D-head. It's the fact that she's acting and behind the scenes. And so people
see her as Two-Faced.
So then people in turn look for things like the George W. But like stuff look, I understand that
they're like, wait a minute, you're dancing, you're against this, and you're hanging out with this guy.
They're looking for stuff.
Yeah, it's people want real, like they don't want the fake, or they feel like they're being duped by you, and then then you get the most backlash. Because if she was just herself, I think everything would be fine. Or if she was Ellen, stand-up Ellen. Not daytime talk show.
But
Ellen?
then she'd have to kiss all those sweet home Christian moms goodbye.
Yeah,
because they're not gonna watch edgy or lesbian Ellen, who's super funny and is a bit of a D-head, which all of us can take because we're adults, and D-heads do make things happen, right?
I don't even care. Like,
I don't either.
If she is a D-head to her staff, like whatever, that's on them. Find her another job. Like, it's either
this is a dangerous thing to say, but I'm okay with saying it.
Yeah.
Samantha, at times, there are decisions that have to be made, and she can be a D-head. And I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, honestly,
if we didn't have that, there's value in that.
Yeah, no.
Samantha gets things done.
And
I don't want like pushover, that's okay, or walk all over me producer. I want
the thing is,
I want bad MF.
You need to be that though too, and like so to run a business and a successful business, a multi-million-dollar business, you need to be a D-head. Like sometimes, you don't need to be a D-head all the times, and maybe she's just more of a D-head.
Pick your D-head moments.
You need to be head, but but you there
be a D-head and B-head, B-head and D-head.
So you need to do that.
You need head, a B-head, a D-head.
And I think everything would be fine if she was just that, but she has to be this personality on TV and dance around and pretend not to be that.
So where are we at with her? She's all right, right?
What are some of the?
I mean, she's also getting support from people as well.
It doesn't sound like she's did anything that bad. I
got to do some more research.
I
haven't looked fully into examples.
Did she?
Let's give some good. This is from Christine.
How bad could it be?
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of weirdness, and I think people are it's all like, I think Sam's right too. It's all kind of accumulated to this point. Christine says in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, if you'd like to see me and Tom dance like Ellen during the breaks. A friend of mine got to be in Ellen's audience and got $10,000. It really helped her out. So I'm not concerned with some intern getting their feelings hurt because they can't talk to her. Well, that's cool. It's cool that your friend got some money. She does good. Somebody else says... I
feel like there's more to it, though, because if it's just she won't look at an intern in the face, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But if there's, like, actual... examples of some real toxic stuff going on.
Let's go back to the DJ.
What does that mean? What toxic stuff?
I want to know the racism and the sexism and the...
Right.
Because that's what he
said,
right?
There's a lot of people claiming that, but there's not, like, real examples of, like, why that is.
Could this be a bunch of... could this be oversensitive P words just getting their feelings hurt?
I don't know, man, because again, I know a lot of comedians that used to be writers on her show that quit because she was like...
I mean, maybe she's hard to work with.
Yeah.
But that's not
if we boil it down, that's not...
Because they're not...
you shouldn't be, attack someone to be like, all right.
Who's hard to work with? Basically, any songwriter who's the best songwriter in the world. When you think of people... Who's the guy that's on The Voice and all... David... God. Do you know what I'm talking about? David, and he writes all these huge songs for Celine Dion and Whitney Houston and all these people, right?
Sure.
That guy's a D-head.
Yeah.
He is.
But he's talented as hell.
Yeah, he's really hard to work with. You know why? Because he accepts nothing other than the absolute perfection and best you could do.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to bring that to the table, you can F off.
You know who was a D-head? Michael Jordan.
Big time D-head.
His teammates in the documentary, there's like, this guy's a D-head. Like, you would...
Are most successful people D-heads?
Well, a lot of them are. That's a trait, I imagine. And
I don't think all of them, but there's some of them.
You could be... Yeah, it's just... it's a trait that's sometimes useful in the business world, for sure. Anyway, we got to go. Bye-bye. Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
So we got our buddy from the north on the line with us.
Did you want me to do a theme song, or is Mike doing the theme song?
I sent him a Mike a long list.
I know.
I was going to talk to you guys.
God.
You know why I knew this? Because I go in and I go to Tom's computer and I try to shut all of the windows certain days because I realize that after 2 or 3 straight weeks, Tom will have 100 windows open on his computer.
Yeah.
So without him knowing, almost like what I would do with my grandpa when I know he's taking the wrong pills, I'd switch him out with the right pills. I go in there and I shut all the windows, and I saw you had "Oh Canada" up on your YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, he's not just listening to that so he can Ellen dance around the room. He's listening to that because you wanted to do something. Am I right?
Yeah. Because I was sending Mike.
like a detective.
I was like, we need some theme songs.
I also found all the soapy butt pictures unedited on the computer. They are good. If you want to go in there
and then.
you know.
Here's the problem. I did what every dumb American I imagine does, where I'm looking at, I'm like, Canada. We need a Canadian Josh theme song. I'm like,
Canada dry, clearly Canadian.
I was like, oh Canada. That's the only thing I can think of that related to Canada.
Wait, sing it again. We'll just use that. Hold on,
Yes.
one more time.
Oh Canada.
Okay.
That's it.
I'm going to turn that into a techno song, and there's our theme song. Perfect.
All right, there it is.
What do you think, Josh?
I love it. The next line, Tom, you can probably add is "Our home in native land." Oh, Canada, our home in native land, and we'll build on that.
I don't know the rest of that.
As a goddamn American, you can't sing that, sir.
I don't think you need to know the rest.
Also, did you now?
Did you fall into a well?
Where are you, Josh?
Oh, you know what? If we're going to be real, I am currently in the parking lot where I work, hiding in the back of an ambulance.
Oh my God!
All right.
It sounds like you're currently at your place of work, hiding in the back of an ambulance.
So
That's exactly where I am.
what do we got today, Josh?
Well, first off, before we get into the Choose Your Own Canadian Adventure, NHL hockey is back, and we are happy about that. And Tom, I have been gambling on NHL hockey, and I was just curious, do you ever bet on National Hockey League?
I haven't, but I've heard some gamblers talk about how, and I don't know if the edge is over yet, but betting unders on all these new hockey games has been hitting crazy, and everybody's been just hammering all the unders because for whatever reason, I guess hockey players were a little different than NBA players, or like they didn't necessarily keep up their practice or whatever. So they're thinking
exactly.
So they're thinking a lot of these real men were just hanging out, drinking beer. They weren't tipped, and so
eating some shakaroni pizza.
It just took them a little bit getting back. So the scoring has been a little lower than normal. Is that what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, exactly. It's the old saying that sometimes in chaos there is opportunity, and there's no rhyme or reason right now. Vegas, whoever makes the odds here, that they don't know what to do. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I guess the players were just sitting around drinking Molson Canadian during not anticipating coming back. So bad teams are good teams are bad, up is down is up. It's crazy, but there is opportunity there. So Tom, if you want to do some hockey bets, shoot me a text, buddy, and I can give you my take on it. I've been doing pretty good so far.
I need a hockeyman in my betting circle.
Add that to your quiver, man.
I got the Puerto Rican Scorpion. He's good to the MLB.
Don't talk about him.
And women's tennis.
Women's tennis.
That's his specialty, which is really weird.
His specialty is women's tennis.
Well, he loves MLB, but he's better at tennis, which is weird.
And then I got some football guys.
I've been watching baseball. I watched it again last night. Dude, this is the third night in a row I watch baseball. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm baseball crazy now.
It's just it's nice to see something live.
Yeah, for sure.
So are they doing the same thing with the hockey as they're doing the daily testing, all the same old jazz?
Yeah, exactly. Similar to the NBA, basically they've divided the conference into 2 hubs. There's an Eastern Conference hub, which is located in Toronto, and a Western Conference hub, which is located in Edmonton, Alberta. And they're just playing at one rink. They stay within their own quote-unquote bubble, tested every day, nobody in the stands. And but they do add the crowd noise, which is kind of weird too. But it's kind of similar to the NBA.
Sam and I don't like the crowd noise.
I like them sitting down, like one of the oldest and more gruff Canadian NHL hockey players, like maybe some veteran in the league, but has been playing for like 20 years and it's just like scarred and like a gnarled.
Oh, yeah, he's got one tooth.
And he's sitting there and they're like, Pierre, we're going to have to daily test you for your own safety. He's like, I have no teeth. This guy has been fighting for 20 years on ice skates.
He's broken his nose so many times. Good luck getting to the brain if you want to test it.
And you're trying to explain to him that you're trying to test him for COVID for his own safety. He's like, I've
been coughing blood for 5 years.
Like, this guy is a Canadian realman fighting, like an enforcer that literally just fights for a living on ice skates, and he don't give a damn. Anyway,
good old Pierre.
Yeah. Which is
that racist?
All right, guys. So where do you want to go? Where do you want to go today? To start with, bagged milk or Halifax Donairs?
I got both your photos ready to go. I mean, what was the second one?
Halifax Donairs.
Halifax Bonairs.
I guess I gotta go Halifax Bonairs.
That's what they call me on the intercoastal.
Oh my
there
God.
goes the old Halifax Bonairs. Raise the bridge. Here he comes.
Name my boat.
So, Donairs with a D. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of them. Has anybody ever heard of the Donair, the Canadian Donair, Halifax Donair?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so these things are massive in Canada, specifically Nova Scotia. So think along the lines of gyro or gyro. So back in the 70s, this Greek guy immigrated to Nova Scotia, a guy by the name of Peter Gamalakis, and he started selling the traditional Greek gyros, which is, that's the lamb, stuffed in a pita with tzatziki sauce. But turns out people in Nova Scotia are more meat and potatoes folks, and so tzatziki and lamb was a little bit too fancy. So he switched it to ground beef. And so kind of the same spices you'd have in a gyro, except no lamb, just ground beef, like a real spicy ground beef. And then that's packed together, put on a spit, and then when you order the donair, like the meat is like shaved off the spit, put on the grill, made nice and crispy, goes into a pita, and then he puts, it's got fresh onions, fresh tomatoes, and donair sauce on top. And that happened back in the 70s, and donairs are huge in Nova Scotia. Actually, in 2015, Halifax City Council in Nova Scotia, they voted and made the donair the official food of Halifax, and donairs are everywhere here. And then there's variations of them, too. So now you get donair pizza, donair sandwiches.
It looks
amazing.
amazing.
And then the donair sauce is kind of cool. What's that?
I said it looks amazing.
What's that donair sauce? What is it? Like a mayonnaise base?
It's like a sweet garlicky sauce.
No, what the donair sauce is, it's made from condensed milk, vinegar, sugar, salt, and garlic powder. And they whip that off, so it's kind of like a sweet garlic sauce. That goes on top, and man,
I've never seen this at the Canada Land in Epcot.
Me neither. I call BS on
I only see poutine.
So basically, a Greek guy wanted to sell gyros in Canada, and then they're like, we don't.
Yep.
Well, like, I don't know if you do the Canadian accent. We don't like lamb.
We don't like lamb, eh?
yeah.
You're just gonna put an A on the end.
And then they were like, all right, I'm gonna do the exact same thing, even with the stick and the shaving.
I'm not eating a sheep, eh?
I'm just gonna use beef. And then Canadians are like, we love it. That's it. So
exactly, and cheaper for him. Like, think how much cheaper ground beef would be than getting like lamb, right? So cheaper for him, and they're delicious. They are everywhere. It's always weird that it's never caught on. Like poutine is kind of caught on, and like they'll sell it at Epcot at the Canadian Pavilion. But everybody's sleeping on the donair, man, and they're really good, especially after you
I'd like to sleep on a donair.
And maybe a few toots. Yeah, they are really good.
Yeah, why isn't this here?
I don't know. Let's find
it's like
a place.
a loose meat hamburger sandwich,
Kinda,
right?
yeah.
It's like Cappy's subs. It's like a cheesesteak. It's like a cheat steak.
Yeah.
It's like you take hamburger, you
on
chop
a gyro.
it all up.
Yeah. Well, now they do it shaved, so it's not even ground beef. It's like
shaved beef.
What is it, like a ribeye or is it?
It is. It is no. It is ground beef, but it's packed. They pack it like super tight into like a really dense meatloaf, and then that's put on the spit, and then it's rotated. And then
shaved
it's
meatloaf.
So
That's what I call my wife's.
But yeah, on a gyro, like
Now
a
I want to
pita.
try and make this.
Oh, I want a shaved meatloaf sandwich, please, with
I-
garlic sauce.
Yeah, I'd eat this
Yeah,
for sure.
I'd eat it right now, but I guarantee you there's one thing I know that Donair gives you,
Oh.
and that's
Yep.
Donair
Yep.
diarrhea. Yeah.
Oh, the double D.
Yeah. Don't say that.
Yeah.
It's a coming.
So,
Bagged milk.
all right, hold on, Josh. Canadians are fat too, right? Like,
hold on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're not like Europeans, where you go to like Paris, and you're like, everybody here is French and skinny.
None of these jeans fit me. My waist is a size 21.
But and if I go to Canada, everybody's big fat slob too, right?
Oh, yeah, we're all fatties, too, just like you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, you
that's
guys
good.
started it. It just kind of traveled down, I feel like.
So, what's the bagged milk story?
Bagged milk. That's not. I think actually Juan gave me that idea when everybody was busting on EJ because he went into one of the BDM chats and was like, "Give me some ideas." And I'm like, "Okay, if we're doing this, throw out some ideas." And I think it was Juan that brought up the bagged milk. So probably, I'm guessing you guys have never heard of bagged milk before. Is this a new concept to you?
I've heard about it, but I don't really know a lot
Yeah,
about
well,
it.
you'd be the only person on the show that would know the most about milk bags.
I'm not joking. I was about to make a milk bag.
Of course you were.
And
But-
shake hands and.
But you got it before me, so you dunked on me.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, because I came up with it right when you were saying it, so I'm lagging behind.
I like how Samantha's like, "What's bagged milk?"
Yeah, I mean there is
No, Bex.
something. There's something kind of poetic.
Don't take the power away. So say it again, Josh. We've never seen this nonsense. It looks stupid.
It looks.
Yeah. So bagged milk has been around in Canada since the 70s. It started in Ontario and then moved its way from Quebec and then to the East Coast. So basically, it's like an udder, which is kind of poetic in a way because you're putting milk into an udder. So you get a package that contains three 1-liter packages or bags of this milk. And then what you do is you take the milk udder out and then you put it into a pitcher. And they obviously design pitchers specifically to hold bagged milk. So you put the bag into the pitcher and then you snip the top off. And that's your milk. So it was made by DuPont.
I mean,
back in,
You're not helping.
70s.
Yeah, you're not helping. I mean, I wish
So is
that
this
we had bagged milks. I wish we'd snip the tops off.
a Canadian thing, Josh? I've never seen bagged milk.
Well, it's funny. It's not just it's not exclusive to Canada. You can find it in South Africa, Argentina, Uruguay, Hungary, and China, and also Israel. They have a kind of a different version of it, but there is other countries that do it. Apparently, we were the first to do it. Basically, the catalyst for it was when Canada back in the late '60s was switching from switching to the metric system. And so all milk was made primarily was made in glass containers. So that's when DuPont came in and said, "Oh, here's an opportunity for repackaging milk. A lot easier to switch all glass bottles to. Obviously, they were going to 1-liter bottles. So DuPont came out with this design for bags. So it was a lot easier when we were switching to the metric system to make 1-liter bags of milk. And right now it's like 75%, I think, of milk sold in Canada comes in a bag. I guess the off-putting thing about it I've always found is your milk is always in the fridge open, and then every Canadian household always has a pair of scissors lying around somewhere that's used to cut out, and it's covered in crusty milk.
Oh.
So, a little gross there.
There's something.
Clean your
Crusty
scissors.
milk scissors.
There's something weird about the psychology of containers, because theoretically, I agree with this concept. It's easier probably for production for them to fill milk in bags and shipping. They could probably, it's easier.
Well, I've had Chinese, because he said it's popular. I've had Chinese milk bags. Not a lot of milk in there. Very small.
But for
Flat
whatever
bags.
for whatever reason, and I think it's not logical at all, but the psychology of buying my milk in a bag as opposed to the standard
It's
American
not good for choppers because you want to pat the bag. You want to slap it.
big plastic jug we've been getting for
I
years.
buy my milk in a container.
Yeah. It's
But we've transitioned, right? Because we used to be like bottles, like glass bottles.
Yeah.
Then you got the
But you recycle
cardboard
those.
cartons. Now it's just plastic jugs.
It's the same
Don't
thing.
say
Less
jugs.
efficient, right? The
The
further
ju-
we go.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, more efficient production-wise.
Right, but not-
But it's definitely degrading the container from the standard glass down to a bag. Same thing happened to me psychologically when Crystal went camping back in the Peace River days. She would buy boxed wine, and she realized that all boxed wine, like the wine comes in a bladder.
Yeah, it's just a bag.
Yeah. So she just takes the box off and just has a bladder.
This box is getting in Mama's way.
She could stack the wine bladders in the cooler
Yeah.
and with a lot more space efficiency or whatever. But I've always been like, the wine in a bag looks real ghetto and
doesn't
like
look
not appetizing
But it
and
doesn't
trashy.
really. It really doesn't mean anything. I mean, there are the same myth about and this goes under your psychology of containers. Wine without a cork. A lot of people, I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
drinking
yeah,
that, and they're
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
sorry,
stop putting
that
it.
is a myth.
Yeah, it's the same milk.
Beer in a can. That
Yeah.
is a container myth.
Yeah.
Beer in
yeah.
a can is fresh as hell. Well,
Yeah.
it can be.
Yeah.
It can be the freshest beer you've had.
Yeah,
but
because no light contamination.
everybody used to say,
yeah.
oh, no, but got to get bottles, got to get...
Yeah, that's a myth too. Yeah,
All
yeah.
myths.
Yeah. So I agree with the
Yeah,
efficiency.
it's kind of interesting. Yeah, now that you've mentioned that comment, it is interesting because there is something about packaging that we do find off-putting because bagged wine just really seems weird.
And somewhere
But,
there's
it's
an
plastic,
R&D
yeah.
department, like somewhere there's a guy that gets paid millions of dollars to tell you what container you should sell your
Right,
product in.
for marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's going to be off-putting. And then he's not Canadian. We know that because you're putting milk in the bag.
I don't think Americans would buy milk in a bag, even if it was like 10 cents cheaper or something, because it couldn't be that much cheaper. Probably the difference between the jug
it's
and
worth
the
the
bag.
10 cents for me not to have to cut the bag, put it in the container, leave it open, buy the special container.
Yeah.
It's less messy.
Although the extreme waste of that milk jug, like now you just plastic, you can't recycle. We've
No.
learned that no one recycles plastic because it's cheaper just
I
to
stopped
remake it.
recycling because of the show we did a couple of weeks ago.
Aluminum cans are fine.
Hey, Josh, how does the bag, does it come in anything else? Because wouldn't it have the chance to be punctured on your shopping cart?
Yeah, very easily. That's happened. That's happened before. So yeah, you obviously dealing with plastic. So it could be. It's funny, Tom, you guys were just mentioning about recycling, and so in fine Canadian ingenuity, a company in Toronto. You're gonna love this name. They're called Milk Bags Unlimited. And so, what they
Okay.
do-
Who stole my website?
Is it LLC? Because I think Tom writes checks there.
So what they do is they take these milk bags and then they repurpose. They take them, they shred them, and then compact them, and they make these like camping mattresses out of them. So every adult-sized mat they take, it takes about 400 milk bags to make one. So they're clean, they're cut into strips, and then they loop and fit them into a frame. They weave it into a mattress.
Wait,
and then
400
you've got
milk
this-
bags is
Yeah.
200 women. Doing the math.
So they.
So yeah, they take them and they make them into camping mattresses, and they're like these super durable, super comfortable. They have you can use them for up to 20 years. And so somebody said, hey, look at all these milk bags that are being recycled, and we all know how recycling goes. It's kind of hit or miss, and the vast majority of it actually doesn't. So this company in Toronto, Milk Bags Unlimited, they take the discarded milk bags and they make them into camping mattresses.
Josh, in what quantity, liquid quantity, do you guys buy your milk up in Canada? Because I'm a big fan of 1 U.S. gallon. Nothing more American than 1 U.S. gallon.
And we just do 1 liter. 1
Liter?
I know.
My pop-up didn't like any liters.
Oh, shoot the liters right out of here.
Oh, he like 1.
But he did love Milk Bags Unlimited.
He did.
He had the posters at his garage.
So everybody, can you get it in a bigger size, or is it all bags
Can
in
you
1
get
liter?
now an American size?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, we do have the American version. So your 1 liter jug, I guess that would be or your gallon jug. That's I think that's like a 2 liter, 2-point-something liters, 3 liter jugs. So we can get cartons and we can get the jugs if we want, but you also have the milk bag option as well. I like milk bags better.
Milk in bags. I mean, where do you guys put your Diet Mountain Dew? Do you put it in an old hat?
Everything.
No, those are.
Every liquid could theoretically just come in a bag.
I don't want a bag of Diet Mountain Dew.
A
I feel like it's too easy to pop, though.
Yeah, I'm
in
walking in
transit.
with my bag of Diet Coke and spilling everywhere. I'm like, oh, God. Quick, give me an auxiliary bag.
Do you guys get any? Do you guys have any liquids in a bag? Now that I think of it?
Wine.
No.
Yeah, but it comes in a box.
Even
We put a box over because we don't like bags.
Capri
Yeah.
Sun is kind of a bag.
No,
Yeah, but it's
even my pee test at the doctor comes in a giant plastic
Yeah.
cup
Yeah, it's
with a lid, Tupperware.
It's indestructible.
Yeah, it's indestructible Tupperware cup just for my pee.
We extreme waste.
Yeah, we love containers.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
you sissies in you put all your liquids in bags.
Yeah. Everything.
You probably got liquids everywhere. They're spilling everywhere.
Yeah.
Canada's nothing but spilled bags.
Yeah, even Capri Sun is like a aluminum
Metal.
bag.
It's
like
a
a metal
metal-
bag.
it's a robot bag.
Yeah. We're like, robot bag.
Capri Sun looks like a robot condom.
I take my milk in a Capri Sun pouch, though.
Well, you're one of those.
Yeah,
Not me. I take my milk out of a lead Stanley thermos. I mean, that thing it weighs 25 pounds.
Yeah.
It only holds 2
Yeah.
sips of coffee.
Yeah.
Hot as the sun's surface. Nothing in it. Black.
With a pipe bomb screw top.
Yeah. It's got to have the pipe bomb screw top.
Yeah. Like
You put one M80 in there, you get one of those Beirut explosions.
Oh
Too
my
soon,
God,
it
that
takes
is
the
a little
whole
too
city
soon.
apart.
Oh. God damn, that thing was super.
Hey,
It was crazy.
That video, I watched
Holy-
it one time. I go, oh my God.
Did you see the car driving one? It was like filming out the side of his car, and the explosion happens, and then the shockwave just blows his windshield and car. I mean, it is nuts.
Did they
dude.
find out what it was? I heard it was milk bags.
I don't know, but it's
Exploding
bad.
milk bags.
It was bad. Anyway, Josh, thank you very much for your segment today.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, he did it to us. You can't do it
Boy,
to us.
you can't. You know
man,
what?
now that he left,
He's
I kind of
canceled
want to
now.
know if there's like a different like sign off as a Canadian. Like, do they have a different verbiage for?
Well, like in
a
Germany, you'd be
goodbye?
like, auf Wiedersehen, or
It's-
moi.
Yeah. I don't like the when the hello and goodbye is the same, like the aloha, where it's too confusing. I don't like it.
They're trying to make it more simple by less words for you.
I know. You think that
Yeah, but
I like
it's a complicated word. I just want like
it, but too much confusion.
I want like a noise. I just want like deuces. So you got to do peace sign. This is my new hello and goodbye. I go, and then when I'm leaving, I go down.
Different click.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The up click is here. It's like, and
Like,
then when
what
I'm leaving,
up?
I'm
And
up.
then going down.
You know,
See, you're down.
the whole like
You do one now that I hate. He comes in and go, yo,
No,
Yeah, he does just do the yo now.
yo.
Yeah. Would you rather?
What
me
does he
do-
say when he leaves after he's sweeping?
He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I try
And then
to
it's
laugh.
awkward.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
awkward. I'm like,
Eh.
and then you're like, I'm gonna go. I sweet beaned it up for you, and I'll go lock me in. I'm still afraid of Lee, and then you'll say, and then you'll be like, hold on.
yeah.
Hello? And I
Yeah.
hear him
Yeah,
answer his
yeah,
phone
yeah.
instantly.
And then it don't
Shut
lock
the door.
you,
Then it doesn't lock it. I get up. I lock it.
Yeah.
Turn all the lights off. I hide in here,
Yeah.
scared.
Every interaction with me is awkward. It shouldn't be, because I hate awkward, and I make
But
it.
it's
You do
awkward.
I
make
do
it
to myself.
awkward.
You said goodbye to me yesterday 5 times.
Yeah,
After
yeah.
you and you left he'll poop the bathroom up,
I
and then
don't
he
know
leaves
how-
the door open and it comes in like I said, like one of Casper's uncles or whatever those ghosts are. He comes in, hello, and I'm like, what is happening?
I don't know how to interact with other
Humans?
Yeah. It's I've been, and I'm getting worse as I'm getting older. Like I used to be able to at least.
You should get some therapy, man.
I'm looking with other people. I'm like, just do what they do. Like, all right. But then that as I get older, it fades away. So I'm
I
like,
can't go to
I
therapy
got a
anymore.
yo, and then I gotta. Just,
You got to wear a mask the
Learn
whole
some-
time.
Do it on the telemedicine
Oh,
type
they do?
deal.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't believe in this virus.
Whoa.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. That's
Do it
a
over the
joke. I
phone.
completely
No, but
believe
They
in
can
it. but
teach you,
I don't wanna-
communication skills.
I don't want to
and
sit there for an hour.
people
Talking in a mask for that long, it's hard.
It is hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for an hour straight. Because like other short interactions, but like Crystal said.
Plus,
this-
I start to get lightheaded. I think it's from breathing my own CO2.
Yeah,
I read that on the
dude.
Facebook. I'm kidding. That's a joke again.
Crystal, she
Tell
starts-
straight up was like, yeah.
I'm
no,
joking.
but
I'm
Crystal, no, not because of that. But Crystal gets like anxiety from talking. Like when she,
It's weird.
I
yeah.
will say this. I
It's
think
weird.
it does help if you have a better mask.
Yep.
Because depending on the mask I have, I can get that kind of panic if it's almost too tight or too close to my face. But if I get one that's bigger or has like, where it kind of comes out a little bit over your face, like it's like nothing.
You
It's
know
not
the
I
Adidas
ordered
bad at
one?
all.
a mesh.
Mesh.
Trump 2021.
It's the mesh. I like that one. I have an
one.
Adidas one that's pretty good.
Uh,
I want to.
yeah.
I want to wear pantyhose, and then I want you to look at me and go, Pete Zacharine.
what is that?
You guys haven't seen that commercial?
Oh God, we gotta go. Bye. Talk to you guys about this.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer, is here. Butler's in the other room. Check out our YouTube channel. All of our daily shows or daily videos that we record are updated there. They look really nice. I'm very, very proud of the content that we pump out video-wise. If you want to check those out, YouTube, search for Tom and Dan Live, or always check us out live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live.
Okay, I got a question for you, Daniel, because you know about warranties, and
I'm a warranty man.
Yeah. So, when we bought our couch, that green couch, the
I like your
sectional couch,
Yeah,
that we
super
have,
nice.
like it was the first time I ever bought like in my mind an expensive couch, like the sectional couch. Like went to the furniture store and actually paid retail price. It wasn't a hookup, or was it this furniture store is advertising on the radio, I'll go get whatever clearance item. Like that's what I've always done.
I used to hate that. It
Or
used to
with
give
the
me
rooms to
anxiety
go.
when they're like, you can swing by, Billy's Furniture, and he said you can pick out anything. And I'm like, okay. And I get there, and the manager is like, yes, can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, Billy said, we don't know anything about that. And you go around, then you pick something out, then you're wrangling with some guy that doesn't know you, then he's calling Billy, then Billy's saying he doesn't not free, like you can give him 15%. Like, that wasn't the deal. Then I'm calling the sales agent.
I showed up here for a free couch, and now I'm gonna pay $1,100.
Are you crazy? It's supposed to be free. I'm an intern.
So
For Big Frog. I'm Big Frog's intern or producer, Chucky D, and you're not going to give me the free couch? What the hell?
you just described a situation that you do not know how many times I have
Oh, me
experienced.
too.
Yeah.
And I hated it. That's why I always paid for my own drinks, because they'd say, you got a tab at Ember or
Right.
whatever.
I always do
and I'd be
too.
like, I don't. And then
always
I'd be
get
like,
awkward.
I think I have a tab. And they're like, there are no tabs. Absolutely no tabs. We don't do tabs. Who told you that? I'm like, I'll pay.
Well, it's different when we were like at an event that we're hosting and it's you two.
Yeah.
And then Tom's like, if you go get a drink, put it on our tab.
Sometimes
and
they
then
don't
I
have tab.
But I'm not Tom or Dan. And they don't know. Some of them don't know who I am. And I'm like, they told me to put it on the Tom and Dan tab. And they just kind of look at me like I'm crazy.
Hey, who are you? Are you Milk Bags?
I am.
Are you Misty Milk Bags? They told me about you.
Misty Milk Bags. Oh, man, look at his 90s crowd. It's flopping around crazy.
Bo, draw that.
Draw Samantha as Misty Milk Bags. I have to quit the show.
Getting back to it. It's done.
I'll have you
That's
guys
all right.
canceled in no time.
Okay, sir, please continue.
So, forgot what. Oh,
Warranties.
warranties. The couch. Okay, so I bought this couch, whatever, and then when we bought it from like one of these furniture stores, they said, "Do you want a warranty?" And I did say, well, what does it include? They're like, well, if you're, because we bought it when Tommy was maybe one and or like 1.5. Max was just born, so we knew we
there's
had
different types of coverage. If you have a parrot that's going to nibble the wood nubbins off the bottom, you can get that.
So they were like, it covers if any of your kids puncture the couch or they draw on it with permanent marker or they stain it, we'll come out there and.
So it sounds like a good deal.
Yeah. And then it's like, it's a 5-year thing. So in the next 5 years.
We also cover 5 different varieties of ejaculate.
Yeah. So basically they're like, now we don't cover normal wear and tear, but we cover stains, permanent stains. And then if we can't get them out, we can't clean them out, we'll just replace the
cushion or
cushion.
whatever.
So I was like, deal. And it was expensive. It was like $180 or something like that.
Right.
Like
This sounds like the exact same situation that happened to me, but proceed.
Okay, yeah. So now, we obviously were in the middle of this remodel. We're coming in for a landing. We're waiting for some last minute, like the appliances, the cabinets, the countertops. But so the couch over the past like I think 4 years or whatever. I think there's a year left on the warranty.
A lot of old.
Took some damage.
Yeah. It's taking some damage.
A lot of snail trails.
And there's some, the kids have spilt things on it and stuff, and there's like some stains.
No eating on the couch.
Yeah. Oh, they eat on the couch all the time.
No, you got to put a rule. There's no eating on the couch.
So
that's what I yell every day, 500 times.
It's a no rules fan. So I told Chris, I was like, well, call the warranty place and tell them that the kids made some stains. And
number you have reached.
And they'll no. So my question to you now, technically, this probably can be considered like overtime wear and tear.
You got to dump milk on it.
Okay. Oh, okay. There's that route too, but that seemed way like too much of a scam. If I purposely stain it,
just a little bit.
Or even purposely at all.
About the size of a sand dollar.
But there are stains, so is it morally fine for me to call the place and be like, there's stains?
It doesn't matter when it happened, or I'm telling you right now, they will not cover it. They will find a loophole to not cover, because they did it to me.
All right, so
and I'm like, you know what? This is why I never buy warranties.
Me either.
Right. Every time I never do, but because it was an expensive couch, I was like, you know what? And I have animals. I'm like, let's get this warranty. And before we moved, we tried and like, hey, we have a few rips on this cushion, and they wouldn't cover it. They're like, nope.
But then in the warranty, doesn't it say it covers rips?
Man,
yep.
I'm afraid you're going to be...
We circled that clause and sent it back to them, no response. They don't care. They're not going to...
So do you have to like sue them to get it done?
Probably. And nobody wants to do that.
Yeah. So
you're not going to like my answer because it's the only warranty I don't really buy.
The couch warranty?
No.
Wow.
Why did you tell us this?
Because
you say all of the warranty except for couches. I don't listen to you.
I know. And I blame myself for both of these. I'm okay. I'm owning this, right? I'm going to own
I got the warranty because I said, do what
Yep.
Daniel does. He does the right thing. Get the GD warranty. It'll pay off at the end. And I'm like, get the warranty.
But I buy a lot of furniture that can be recovered. And my particular couch, I've recovered it. This is the second or third time we've recovered it because I buy... Not the most expensive, but I buy one because I know it's going to get all dinged up.
Are you reupholstered?
No, it's just covers that you
that's
buy.
IKEA.
It's an IKEA couch. It's not super
we don't have
fancy.
That.
I didn't buy fancy. But I tell you one thing that I did do that's a pain in the ass, but I did it, is that before I put the new cushions on this time or new coverings, I Scotch guarded everything. I laid it all out in the sun, and I bought 15 cans of Scotch Guard because they only sell it in little cans.
Yeah, but I had threading that was coming apart at the seams.
They should have covered
right,
that.
But they didn't.
That's
and
weird.
It's like they didn't give any. They just said it was a very generic response of the damage we saw is not covered by your warranty, which then of course we said it is, but no response at that point. It's like, nope, we're not covering it.
Because I guess you have no real recourse except for a lawyer, which then you have to...
Small claims.
Have you called them yet to see what they'll say? Or
not yet.
I would give it a shot because there's a chance.
But you're right.
I'm
I'm like 75% chance, no way.
Well, it's not.
Or they show up and they're like, this is not covered, so you're gonna have to pay a cleaning fee.
They didn't even come look at mine. They wanted us to send photos.
Okay.
Yeah, this is your business. I'm not going to talk about it, but remember, a call is worth it because you had a situation where you called and got good news on a rebate thing. You never know what you're going to get.
But that's an inherently good corporation that I think I've heard good things about. I think these warranty companies are all a scam in the fact that they just...
Where'd you get the couch?
Don't remember.
It was a nice store. It was a nice name brand furniture store.
I know. I'm just wondering if it's the same one that I did.
It may have been. I don't know. But it was like I think a big furniture chain place. That does
same.
R2G.
Yeah.
No, not mine.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Mine was an American store.
Wayfair?
Now,
no.
Got some kids on. You got kids in your couch?
You think I want kids in my couch?
Now,
Please.
That's even ones.
Last person that wants kids in their couch.
You'd save them, but you got to come get them. You'd save them.
Now, specifically, okay. Now, what about this? In the warranty, it says like punctures due to pencils or pens, right?
Stab a pencil right in that bitch.
If I stab the pencil
and then
in
let it leak, the ink leak over, so there's a stain too.
But here's the problem. Then I say, here, you guys need to fix it. And they're like, nope, we're not fixing it. Then I stab my couch and ruined it.
Well, stab the bottom of one cushion, right, and then flip it.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
But or if you have a pillow or something.
But here's the thing: if I'm leaning
Photoshop it. Have Travis or Tony Photoshop a pencil hole in your couch
and then see if they cover
and
it.
see if they
Yeah,
cover
And if
it.
they do cover it, then I have to.
stab it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm a
maybe.
genius.
Yes,
I'm more than genius.
So I get
I'm better
Photoshop
at this
stab.
scamming than I thought I was.
Test to see if it's a scam or
If
not.
they say we'll accept yes, we will cover the stab, then you have to make it an actual stab. So you're gonna have to stab it the same way the Photoshop looks like.
Because you know what?
I just realized that our show, this particular show that we do every single day, is just an audio version and less funny. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Because we only scam and do bad things all day for hours. And we've done it for years. And then we get to the end, nothing's ever solved, and then we do it again the next day.
So I'm D.
Yeah,
Who are you guys?
100%. I'm Mac.
I was leaning more towards DeVito.
That's fair.
You know what, Frank?
That's fair. I can be frank. That's fair.
Anyway, you're right. I'll let you guys know what happens but on
No,
that,
who's
please let
calling?
me know.
Wait a minute. I see where this was going to fail.
can we call on the show?
Yeah, but
Ooh.
you can't call. Because if you do it, it's guaranteed to fail because you're not assertive enough. You hate uncomfortability, and you'll give no pushback whatsoever.
Hold on. There's been another time that I bought a warranty and I pushed back. And
Did it work?
It worked.
All right.
And
I'll
It's
trust
that
you.
D-head that after the show he uses.
When he's
Like that.
screaming,
No,
at
it
you,
wasn't
he
the-
uses the screaming at the Samantha anger.
I could push back when I think I'm right. Like, if I determine if it's just for the point of it or just to prove a point, I have no interest. But if it's to get my couch clean that I want and I paid for and I have legitimate stains that are permanent stains that in the contract I signed it said permanent stains
Right.
we will get out, and they look like one-time spills.
How long is the warranty for?
We're still covered. It was like 5 years, and
that's-
it's only
wow.
4 years, So, but like I said, it was expensive. It was like
Yeah.
$180
Yeah.
or whatever.
Mine might even been more than that. That's
It
why.
may have
That's
been
why
more.
I got so mad. I'm like, I'm never buying
Well, there's
warranty
certain
again because
warranties-
it's
Maybe
worthless.
too, yeah.
Okay,
It's just to
television-
get a few more $100 out of me.
Television warranties I've used before. Computer extended warranties I've used before. I'll give you the rundowns.
Yeah.
Xbox, Microsoft Store extended warranties used before.
Electronics, I usually
Air
yeah.
conditioning didn't have one, so wish I'd had an extended warranty on that. What was the other one? Any type of car tire? That always get that. I always get that.
Yeah,
I got that for the first time this last
I
time.
know.
I got
Oh, it's a
tires.
gamble.
But you got the good one.
Yeah, I never got tired. I've never bought new tires before in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yours though was.
and then we got that warranty. Remember
We're
we
like,
talked
thank
about
God.
this
Where
is
was
not
that?
going to
Was
work.
it Tire Kingdom?
No, it's Discount Tire.
Discount. Shout out to Discount Tires because
they
they were
honored
like,
the
no
warranty.
matter what, we cover it for the eternity until we're all dead.
And me and Tom went in there together, and we're like, okay, we're gonna probably have to try and talk him into,
And
making
he was
this
done
warranty
like
valid.
in 25 minutes. I'm like, this is amazing.
Guy's like, no problem. I'm like, all right.
And that never happens.
No.
But I think scam warranty companies have given a horrible name to actual legitimate warranties. Because I feel like most companies will honor them.
And when your company is called Discount Tire, for some reason you're like, they're not gonna want to.
They were great.
Uphold this warranty.
They were very good to us.
you know what the problem is? Third-party warranty companies.
Yep.
That's the one.
That's the
And that's where the
scammers.
furniture
Yeah.
stores
Because they
use.
probably don't have any power.
Yes,
like they're
yeah.
really, what are they going to do?
Because all they do is try to. It's like insurance, kind of like, or at least bad insurance, where like they just deny every claim, and then you have to fight to get your money. And then over time, they're just like, all right, well, technically, there will be some people that will stand their ground and fight for it, and we'll have to pay them, but most people won't, and we win at the end.
Yeah, correct. I wish Discount Tire advertised with us because Twisted Movies just said Discount Tire is awesome.
They're good.
I blew all 4 tires driving into an exit gate, and they replaced all 4.
Did you tell them that? Because if I was an employee at Discount Tire, I'd be like, you're a dodo. That's on you.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You didn't know after you drove over. If you drove over the first 2, it didn't make a sound.
You got to back up, so you only get 2. That's hilarious. You want to do some voicemails?
Yeah.
Let's do a couple of little voicemails.
I think we have probably time for one.
Yeah, they
15.
If you want to leave us a voicemail, you can just get our app totally free. All of our content's on there, and you can leave a voicemail like this one right here.
Hey, Sam, Tom, Dan Butler. It's Christina from Oklahoma. Calling you on my birthday. I turned 40 today.
Happy birthday.
Anyway, I know I've been leaving a lot of messages, but you guys were kind of dissing Burger King, and I just have to tell you, Tom, you need to get on that. They have a veggie burger now. It's really good. So it probably tastes good because they cook it on the same grill, but we don't have to say that. But anyway, my husband and I aren't vegetarian, but sometimes we do eat plant-based food, and it is surprisingly delicious. So Burger King ain't bad. I agree their fries are garbage, but that burger, can't beat it. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Burger King. I feel like we
telling
need,
me or my wife here. Like what?
I feel like we need to revisit Burger King. Has your wife had the Burger King veggie burg?
she is not.
Are we doing a Burger King party on Friday?
We should do a Burger King party, and we should go through the foods that we think are bad.
Well,
Order
I
them
need
and
to try the
them.
chicken fries.
Eh.
I want to try them just to see if they actually do taste like the old chicken tenders. Apparently, we also have to get the Hershey pie, right?
I'm not looking forward to it.
All right. Nobody wants the Burger King party.
I've been eating healthy, and everybody gets
I
mad.
know.
Tactical gets mad. All these people writing to me, hundreds of emails, just 3, about Burger King and people like Andrea and I were talking about this, and Andrea said she said she doesn't think she's eaten at Burger King in 15 years.
It's been a long time.
15 years, dude.
Yeah.
We can't be eating fast food that much. It's fine every once in a while, but
No, but I mean, like, it's not a place I choose ever.
Yeah. Also,
No.
was she trying to say that the plant-based Beyond Burger?
What is it? The
No.
Impossible
No,
Whopper,
no,
right?
she's talking about a veggie burger.
What,
They also
but it's
have
the
that,
Impossible
yeah.
Whopper.
They used to have a veggie
but it's not
Whopper.
better than the actual Whopper for meat eaters, right? I know it's probably
No, she's not
similar.
talking about the Impossible. She's talking about the veggie Whopper.
I don't know. I think she was talking about the Impossible.
Because she
Okay.
said veggies.
well, I think she said plant-based, and that's the
Well, they
Impossible.
said they eat plant-based. She said veggie burger. I know they have a veggie Whopper.
I think it's the Impossible Whopper. Right?
No.
No, it's a different one.
Yes, it's a like Garden Burger. It's a vegetable patty.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be meat.
Okay.
Remember, like Morningstar Farms has the black bean burgers.
Right.
Those aren't meant to be meat.
Right.
It's but it's still a veggie burger.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like veggie burger to me does not mean, this is just me. Maybe I'm wrong. But when people say veggie burger, I don't think Impossible. That's fake meat.
Okay.
Veggie burger is a vegetable patty. I feel
Gotcha.
like.
Tuna Daddy in the chat is saying that the Impossible Whopper is better than the regular Whopper.
That's
No, but he's a hipster. He wears Toms. People that wear Toms have to say that Impossible meat tastes better than
the
regular meat. They have to say that. It's the shoes make them say it's magic.
Also, Crystal's a weirdo when it comes to. She is not a huge fan of the plant-based imitation, like the Impossible stuff, because it's too realistic. And for whatever reason, it almost grosses her out because it literally tastes so close to meat that she's grossed out by the thought of meat.
Right.
Therefore,
Too far.
It's too close
went
to the
too
real.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too, and she's weird when it comes to that. Like,
That is
obviously,
weird.
she's the outlier, but anyway, she's not she's had the Impossible burgers before, and it's too close to her. But they do like for her mom just retired from Delta after like almost 48 years.
That's insane.
It's always crazy when someone works for the same company for so long.
My dad did that.
Yeah, like that's an old school thing, and like and impressive. Like you're like 48 years. Anyway, we went out to her retirement dinner. Like,
Oh, nice.
Over at Cress, and they do like a vegan special dinner. Like specialty for vegans, and then, like
wow.
they all got that, and like they loved it a lot because they're like, "Man, this is awesome!" I'm like, yeah, when it's just a professional chef,
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
it makes a
Well,
difference.
like Juan's like that.
Of
If
course,
you ask Juan to cook you a vegetarian dish,
it's gonna be
phenomenal.
outstanding.
Yeah. And it'll be as good or better than any time you have a meat-based protein in there.
It does suck that a lot of people's first experience with vegan or plant-based meals are like fast food companies or something.
Yeah.
Like, guess what? It's not gonna like, but you have a really good chef make you a plant-based meal, and it's. I'll literally say it's basically
better.
as good as any meal you can have anywhere. Like it tastes good. Now I know if you like only like meat and the taste of meat and you are a meat purist, okay, no. But if you're just looking for like quality meals that taste delicious, then of course you have a professional chef make you a vegan meal. It's gonna be just as good. Oh, bye.